All right, welcome. If you're dealing with an autoimmune thyroid condition, you know that a prescription is usually just, well, it's just the start of the story, right? Today, we're going to go way beyond that. We're digging deep to get at the real root causes, the why behind all those lingering symptoms that typical treatments just don't seem to touch.
Sound familiar? I bet it does. This is probably one of the biggest, most frustrating things for anyone with a thyroid issue. You know the drill. Your labs come back normal, but you know something is still off. You just don't feel like yourself. Well, that disconnect, that feeling right there, is exactly what we're going to dive into and unpack today.
So what is going on? Well, it's because standard treatments are often just patching up a symptom like low thyroid hormone, but they're not actually calming down the real problem, the autoimmune process itself. So if we want to really feel better, we've got to look way deeper at what's actually causing the attack to happen in the first place.
Okay, so let's talk about this autoimmune attack. At its heart, it's really just a case of mistaken identity. Think about it. Your immune system is supposed to be your personal bodyguard, right? But in this case, it gets confused. It starts seeing your own thyroid gland as an enemy and, well, it attacks. This friendly fire is the real engine behind the whole thing. So this attack usually shows up in one of two ways. First, you've got Hashimoto's. This is where the immune system is actively destroying thyroid tissue, which leads to an underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism. We usually spot this by looking for antibodies like anti-TPO and anti-TG. Then on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have Graves' disease. Here, the immune system actually pushes the thyroid into overdrive, making it produce way too much hormone. That's hyperthyroidism, and it's linked to a different antibody called TRRAb. So see, two totally different outcomes, but they all start from the exact same problem, a confused immune system. But why the thyroid? Why is it so often the target? Well, here's a great way to think about it. Picture your thyroid as this super busy, high-energy factory. It is humming along 24/7, cranking out the hormones that run your entire metabolism. And you know, just like any busy factory, all that hard work, it creates some waste. And one of the main byproducts from this factory is actually hydrogen peroxide. And yeah, I mean the exact same stuff that's probably in a brown bottle in your bathroom right now. Now, inside the thyroid, this stuff is actually essential. You need it to make hormones. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. So when you have too much of this hydrogen peroxide floating around, more than your body's cleanup crew can deal with, you get a state called oxidative stress. The best analogy for this? Think of it like cellular rust. Seriously, this rust damages the thyroid cells, and that damage makes them look like foreign invaders to your immune system. It's like it literally paints a bullseye right on your thyroid, inviting that autoimmune attack. And this is so important to understand. This internal damage is at the very center of the whole cycle. Okay, but here's the thing. The thyroid isn't the only player in this game. There's a secret accomplice, a partner in crime that almost everyone overlooks, your gut. Turns out the health of your gut is, well, it's directly and powerfully connected to the health of your thyroid.
And just how strong is this connection? Get this. The research is showing that pretty much 100% of people with Hashimoto's have some level of leaky gut or intestinal permeability and an imbalance in their gut bacteria. 100%. That's not a coincidence, people. That's a massive clue. So how does this actually fuel the fire? Well, think of your gut lining like a security fence. When it's healthy, it keeps the bad stuff out. But when that fence gets damaged, when it gets leaky, things that are supposed to stay inside the gut, like bits of undigested food and toxins, can slip right through into your bloodstream. And what happens then? Your immune system freaks out. It goes on high alert 24/7, and that creates inflammation everywhere. An immune system that's always panicked is way more likely to make a mistake, like, attacking your thyroid. And to top it all off, when your gut bacteria are out of whack, they can pump out nasty stuff like ammonia, which is a big reason for that awful, debilitating brain fog.
Okay, so we've laid out the two main problems, right? We've got this cellular rust, that oxidative stress happening inside the thyroid, and we've got this broken security fence in the gut. But here's the great news. We can actually do something about both of them, and we do it with some really targeted nutritional support. So let's open up the toolkit.
First up, we've got a powerhouse duo, selenium and myo-inositol. Selenium is basically the thyroid's personal firefighter. Your body uses it to make these incredible antioxidant enzymes called selenoproteins that literally go in and put out the fire of oxidative stress by neutralizing all that extra hydrogen peroxide. It's amazing. Then you've got myo-inositol. This one helps your thyroid get better at hearing the signals from your brain, specifically TSH. When the thyroid is a better listener, the whole system it runs smoother.
And the best part? When you put them together, studies show they can seriously bring down those thyroid antibodies. They actually help calm the attack.
All right, next up is vitamin D. And let me just say, if you only think of vitamin D for bone health, we need to talk. Because it's actually a super powerful hormone, and its real job is to act like a conductor for your entire immune system orchestra, telling it when to play loud and when to quiet down.
So it probably won't surprise you to hear that low vitamin D is something we see all the time in people with Hashimoto's and other autoimmune issues. I mean, the link is so strong, you just can't ignore it. It really points to a direct connection between not having enough vitamin D and having an immune system that's totally out of balance.
So what's it actually doing in there? Well, vitamin D helps manage your key immune soldiers, the T cells, which can either be your best friends or your worst enemies. It tells the aggressive ones to stand down. It dials back those inflammatory signals that are driving the attack and instead encourages a more calm, balanced, and tolerant immune system. Honestly, for anyone with an autoimmune condition, getting your vitamin D levels right isn't just a good idea, it's foundational.
Okay, let's talk about zinc. This little mineral is a true double-duty hero when it comes to thyroid health. It's got two completely different jobs, and both of them are absolutely critical.
Job number 1, hormone conversion. See, your thyroid mostly makes an inactive hormone called T4. It's up to your body to turn it into the active T3 hormone that actually gives you energy. And guess what? You need zinc to make that conversion happen. No zinc, no energy. Job number 2, it's a gut guardian. Zinc literally helps repair that broken fence in your gut. It helps tighten up the links in your gut lining, fixing that leaky gut problem right at the source.
And last but not least, let's bring in the heavy machinery, the gut's official repair crew, amino acids. These guys are the basic building blocks of protein, and a few of them are absolute superstars for rebuilding that gut lining and helping your body's detox systems run smoothly.
So let's meet the crew. First, there's glutamine. Think of this as pure fuel for your gut cells. It's what gives them the energy to patch up holes and rebuild that gut wall. Then you've got NAC and glycine. These two are partners, and their main job is to help your body make more glutathione. Now, glutathione is known as the body's master antioxidant for a reason. It's an absolute beast at cleaning up cellular damage everywhere. So not only does this protect the gut, but it also gives your liver a huge boost, which is so important for keeping overall inflammation down.
Okay, so we've got this amazing toolkit of nutrients, right? But, and this is a big but, before you run out and buy everything we've talked about, we need to go over the playbook. You have to be smart about this. You have to be safe.
It is absolutely critical to get this. Not all supplements are your friend here. The stuff on the left, generally supportive, but the stuff on the right, you need to be extremely careful. High-dose iodine? Look, I know some people recommend it, but for a lot of folks with Hashimoto's, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. It can make the attack so much worse. And iron. Yeah, you might need it, but if you take it anywhere near your thyroid medication, it can completely block it from working at all.
And this right here, this is without a doubt the most important thing I'm going to say today. So please lean in for a second. This is all for your information. It is not medical advice. You absolutely must talk to your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before you start taking anything new. Your body is unique, your situation is unique, and the only way to do this safely and actually get the results you want is with a personalized plan from a professional.
So there you have it. You now see the bigger picture, right? The mistaken identity of the autoimmune attack, that internal fire of oxidative stress, and that super important gut-thyroid connection. You are now armed with some powerful knowledge about nutrients that can truly help. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you know all this, what's the next conversation you're going to have with your doctor? What's the right next step for you to take on your health journey?